Okay, I'll share my screen and we can get started. So, introducing myself again. My name's Dominic Saporito, one of the founders of InternMatch. And for the past 7 years, we have been assisting international students all around the world to make that transition from their education into employment through internships. And we are going to be talking about internships for those of you in Cambodia, and welcome. And if you have any questions, please put them into the chat or into the Q&A, and I will also have Swathi, my assistant, who's in the background, that can also chime in from time to time if there's anything. Here she is. If there's anything that needs answering. So away we go. Here I am, lovely picture of me. I'm Dom, the founder of InternMatch, and we also have MentorMatch. And this has been another division of the business that we started because we have seen the benefits that students can get from not just having an internship, but also having a mentor as we go along, and we can chat about that with you. As I said earlier, we caught up with Rotary clubs all through the Pacific and in Australia over the weekend, and other places. And so we do have a fair reach through Rotary where we can access mentors to assist you, either as subject matter experts or simply just to assist you to connect to community or build professional networks in your area. So we can talk about that a little bit more. Who are we? So InternMatch, we impact the lives of many young people and bridging the gap between education and employability. We've matched about 10,000, that's probably around 12,000 students by now, and we work with well over 2,000 active host companies in doing so. And we have a number of key partners, including Victorian New South Wales government here in Australia, a number of universities, and also a lot of private colleges as well. What are we going to cover today? Well, we'll take you through why you should undertake a summer internship. We'll explain what a summer internship is, our work readiness program, how it's our customized internship placements, a bit of a timeline and process that you can expect. And also we have a couple of examples and stories from students who've done it before. There's a little video which, as long as it works, we'll explain in a couple of minutes from someone who has taken on an internship and really enjoyed it. We'll start with how will a program like this benefit you. Firstly, our program is a government approved program. We do get audited every year by a couple of different authorities, and certainly it'll complement your Australia Award studies. And it's all about getting some real world experience in your field of study. It'll build on your foundational skills and your technical skills by applying it in the workplace and learning about Australian workplace culture as well. And throughout the program, there's lots of people to support you. There's our InternMatch team, and it could also include a mentor as well if you feel you need it, and if we can find someone that will be suitable. It'll also enhance your employability. You'll get a certification detailing your experience, and you know, working in Australian culture is very different to working in perhaps businesses where you've come from, and I think that will hold you in good stead when you do go for any job, whether it be here or back home, and also increasing your networks here in Australia and overseas as well. A couple of things, though, that I do wish to point out, and that is that for most internships, even graduate roles, when you get your first job in your field of study, it is about running software in businesses. And it's not up to your current education provider, university, to tell you the latest and greatest software that applies for your discipline and in your industry and in the sector that you wish to go into. So you do need to take some time, and I would be doing it right now, doesn't matter where you are in your studies, to learn the contemporary software in your field. So, for example, if you were an accountant, certainly in Australia, the number one software that everyone is using at the moment is Xero, followed closely behind by MYOB. And you really do need to know both. If you're a digital marketer, you need to know that Salesforce is the number one CRM on the planet, followed closely by HubSpot. Salesforce is for corporates, HubSpot more so for small to medium enterprises. And data analytics people, it's not enough just to have a really good understanding of spreadsheets, whether it be Excel or Google Sheets. You should really know a data visualization tool as well, which for the Microsoft users would be Power BI or Tableau. So just do a simple Google search of contemporary software in your field of study. Go off and do a couple of little Udemy courses. Perhaps most of them are free or may only cost you a couple of dollars. But to learn those, you'll be amazed at what you didn't know, and you will absolutely ace every interview you go for, especially when you go for an interview for an internship, if you know the contemporary software that the company uses. People do look upon that very favorably. Okay, the internship program. So what will you receive during the program with us here at InternMatch? We will start off with a course and some training. And so we will, in the program, you'll be allocated some training material that we will ask you to go through, and that will detail a lot of things that you will definitely need to be aware of during an internship in a business here in Australia. You will receive one-on-one support, so we will meet with you one-on-one and have a bit of a chat with you and find out, what are your career aspirations? What's the type of company that you wish to work for? What industry do you really love? And we'll certainly try and find something to match those needs. We'll also then recommend to you the digital software, the digital skills that you will need, including any software recommendations. So if you are going to be doing CAD drawing for a particular company, as an example, we might recommend that you go and do a quick course in Fusion 360 or FreeShip or whatever it might be. That way you can hit the ground running when you first land at a company, make a fantastic first impression. You will get an internship with a host company, and it may be face-to-face, it may be online, and it really doesn't make much difference anymore. COVID has taught us that the conversions from internships to jobs, whether they be face-to-face or online, they are exactly the same. The world has changed. So if it does end up being an online remote internship, don't be too worried about that, because you will learn just as much as if it was face-to-face. All of our internships are covered by our public liability insurance, which is very, very important. So you know that not only if you injure yourself at a company, but also if you cause damage accidentally to a company, you accidentally wipe their database or something like that, then you will be covered by insurance. So everyone knows that they can be safe, that all that type of thing will be covered. You do get to select your own internship. It's what we call competitive internships, in that you must be interviewed by the host company and you get to choose them, but also they get to choose you. We do not force you to go anywhere, nor do we force a company to take you. And so I think that's really important. Both the host company and the intern need to be well aligned to really kickstart a terrific relationship. And there'll also be mentorship from the supervisor. And as I said, if we need to, we can always include another mentor in as well, especially if the intern, or if you as the intern, just needs a little bit more help and support to get you going, especially in the early stages. Part one of the work readiness program, the course that you'll be covering, will take you through these little courses through our management learning system, working effectively in business environments, So it's detailing, what to expect, your rights, the rights of the company, all that type of thing. We'll take you through some interview training. I learnt long ago from a mentor of mine that no one gets a job with a resume. The job is won or lost. Sorry, the resume is just to get you an interview. And the job is won or lost with your performance in that interview. So interview skills is very, very important. We'll also do coaching on building your network. And all of you, if you're not on LinkedIn by now, please get on there, complete your profile with a nice picture of your face. It's all about recognition when it comes to the photo, because it is very, very important, because it is your online resume that is available to people 24/7. And I don't think there's a single company out there that would not look you up on LinkedIn for even a position such as an internship. So again, it's okay if you're not on there, but please get on there now and start connecting with significant people. And Swathi and myself, you're welcome to connect with, but also you should be connecting with your lecturers and all other important people, especially if they're in the industry that you're looking to go into. But resumes are important because we do need to send them out, and you will be sending them out also in your career. So we'll do a one-on-one resume review and having a look at it. And really, it's about ensuring that there's enough information in there without going over the top and highlighting a lot of your achievements. People tend to think that it's all about skills. At graduate level, it's not. It's not just the skills that you learned during your studies, but it's also the soft skills and any experience that you have. Anything that can reduce the learning curve that employers will go through when you start going for your first jobs, and also through an internship. And again, learning about workplace culture in Australia, really, really important. Work effectively in business environments, 3 chapters of learning with associated assessments, totaling about 10 hours of online learning and assessment. Talks about pre-placement. You must complete this by the 30th of January. And then during the placement, practical assessments, and then a certificate of completion at the end of the placement. They're just some of the things that you can look forward to as you move through your internship. The structure of the internship itself, it is 3 days per week. We like them to be consecutive days if possible. And these are unpaid because you are doing it for course credit, and it's over February 23 and onwards. So a lot of people do ask, why is it unpaid? And the answer is that for anyone who's tried, whilst they're doing their university studies, to get a job in their field of study without any luck, we know people who've sent out, literally hundreds and hundreds of applications to jobs without even receiving a reply. That's for a job with defined outcomes. Then doing an internship is quite similar. Not many people will take you on. So therefore, by doing it unpaid, it means that there is incentive for a company to take you on and teach you things without you having the pressure of paid outcomes. So it allows you time to learn, get used to it. Remember, this is a work placement where you're learning how to work in a business. And so hence what you're giving up is course credit, and hence why it is unpaid. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Benefits and inclusions as part of your internship. So during those 12 weeks, you get mentorship by a designated supervisor who at the very start, we agree as to what you will be learning and what you will be doing. And that's an important part of the paperwork and compliance documentation that we set up at the very start. And of course, you'll be getting local work experience, and we cover you for insurance. Our InternMatch digital platform. One of the things that we'll be asking you to do, should you sign up, is that we will ask you to register and log into our platform, and you can go in there and check out the many host company profiles and many of the internship placements, and you will complete your profile in there so that companies can search and look for you as well. And you can look and apply for internships, and we will also go in there for you and have a look at the different opportunities that we may have. With many of the interns, once we meet someone and we find out what you're about, often we then will approach specific companies that we think would enjoy having you as part of their team, and they may not have opportunities currently listed in InternMatch, which is great because it means that you're the only one going for them, and we'll arrange that so that we can choose an ideal internship for you. So I'll just go back. The process from there is that we will then arrange an interview for you to speak to at least one person. Most likely it will be your supervisor, and only if both of you agree to do the internship will it take place. And then we make sure that we cover off on the half dozen things that you'll be doing during the internship to make sure that we keep it on track and that the work that you do there is relevant and agreed to up front, so that, you know, if you feel or the company feels that it's going a little bit off track, we can then go back to that and say, right, this is what we all agreed that we'd be doing, and we can get any internship back on track if it goes a little bit off to a tangent. These are just some of the companies that we have placed people in. Now, these are more of the known brands out there, which are up there. However, some of the best internships have been experienced in companies that you would never have heard of. Many of them are startups or scale-ups that are solving some of the best, you know, some of the more important problems facing the world. Again, you may never have heard of many of these companies. However, we'll be presenting these companies to you, telling you about what they do and what your role will be there and what you will learn. And then you make up your mind as to whether you would like to participate in a work placement with them. Again, feel free to post any questions that you have. I see there's something in the chat. Okay, that's all good. All good. All right. A little bit of advice about internships, whether you go through us or whether you go through another organisation. Make sure that your internship is legal. So in Australia, it is illegal to work for free, and hence why our internships are put through a registered training organisation where you actually are giving up course credit in order to undertake an internship. Sounds a little technical, but what that means is that we are registered with the government. They know what we do. We do get audited a couple of times a year by various authorities. And so the internship that you'll be participating with us will be totally legal. We are also insured. And so the company will also have insurance. However, to make doubly sure that you are covered, we insure you as well. So again, not just for your safety, but if you do something that, you know, might accidentally harm the company, you don't need to worry. You are insured with our insurers. And all of our internships comply with regulations and relevant laws. Oh, why didn't that move? Okay. This is just a little program timeline, and the process just shows it in a little bit of a different way. So you'll see that we build up to the internship. So you'll see that down the bottom here, that today you're attending this webinar. Then we'll ask you to send in an expression of interest, and we'll provide you with a QR code that you can scan, or you can speak to your supervisors. Then go needs to be done by the 5th of the work readiness program course to get that course content done. And then we go through which will commence in February 2023. Success story. Now, fingers crossed, this works. So let's give it a go. And as usual, doesn't work. You couldn't hear that, could you, Swathi?
What got me into this
Here we
field
go.
is my interest on how technology has What got me into this field is my interest on how technology has made our lives easier and how we can integrate this technology into our daily lives so that it will benefit us in I'd say, a healthy and sustainable way. And also moving forward, I'm hoping that I'll be able to expand my experience across like different industries, and especially in engineering, health, and how I can use this knowledge and application to improve our quality of life. My internship is with a company that does rehabilitation like activities. So I work with this company on the project that they have, and the project is about using a Arduino that's a microchip or like a board that uses some sort of coding, and when you do that, it will do some sort of activities for you. So the project that I did is using Arduino. You'll have push buttons connected to the Arduino, and from there, it has like a Wi-Fi module, so you can connect it to like send the signals and information into an online database. So it's sort of a real-time database. So what I've done is I've to get all those electronic components, put them together, and create a code that can able to read the activities that I do, and will be able to also send those informations online. That person, like I'd say an introvert person, but yeah, my boss he's really like outspoken person, and everyone that works in that place pretty much know him. So he's the one who introduced me to everyone, and yeah, it's quite a good place to like working environment where everyone can just stay there and work with people and learn from each other. For me, it's like really good experience, and what the main thing that I've learned from this internship is teamwork. Because I'm that person that doesn't really talk much. So while I'm doing my placement, I'm able to like get to learn how I can have a good communication, a good and constructive communication, not only through what I've like in words, but also in a documented format to present what I've learned or what my findings are in a well formatted way that people that doesn't know anything about what I'm doing will be able to understand. It's an advantage because because where I come from, most undergrad students didn't really have this, I'd say, a chance to get an internship or like work experience before coming over to uni. So while I'm doing my studies and did the internship, it's a really good experience because you get to learn how a real like business or company works. It's really a good experience and also a good way to start off with your career. Getting an internship doesn't only contribute to your CV and stuff like that, but that's where you started, like your future career. Like when you did your placement, that's when you started. Like you developed like working spirit, like teamwork, how to speak. And when you went to the industry, it's just like a bridge. It creates a bridge where you just walk across and do whatever you want to do from there.
Terrific. And I think that's in his own words, his experience. And you'll notice that when he was asked what did he get from the internship, he didn't immediately go to the technical skills. And I think that most people that undertake an internship, it isn't about that. Technical skills are actually quite easy to learn, although his project was setting up an Arduino to push data into database in real time. Really, it was about him building his confidence and having something to talk about when you do end up going for a job in the future. To go into an interview and to be able to perhaps take that little Arduino and say, this is what I created in my internship, and this is what it did, and this is how it contributed to this company in this industry. It's extremely powerful. And, you know, if there's a couple of other people waiting outside to go into that very same interview and they're just going in there with just their studies that they can talk about, then chances are that you being able to articulate your experience, you've gone through the learning curve of being in a business before, actually applying the technical skills that you've learned to be at an advantage in order to get that job over other people, which is one channel. You'll find lots and lots of other videos from other people who have done our program. Let's go across. Now, I just need to hop out and hop back in because there's the application link. So if you would like to send in an expression of interest, and again, it's only an expression of interest. If you'd like to register, that will come to us. We will then have a chat with you, one-on-one, explain the program a little bit more, and then at that time you can choose whether or not you would like to undertake a work placement or an internship with one of our host companies. Please scan that QR code or perhaps take a screenshot now so that you've got it for later, so that you can scan it and send it through. And so therefore, I'd like to open it up to any questions that you may have, either for me or for my trusty assistant, Swathi, who will join us. Other than mucking it up at the very start by saying Solomon Islands rather than Cambodia, Swathi, did I articulate everything okay? Remember, I'm only just the founder. I don't tend to do too much hands-on anymore.
No, I think we're going to give you more of these to do, Tom.
Oh, okay, rightio. I can look forward to that. So thank you to those who were online. And as I say, if you'd like to raise your hand or ask a question, this is your time to do it. I don't know, what are some of the questions that we usually get asked, Swathi? What would be the most frequently asked questions?
Perhaps how long will the process take?
Okay. And because all the internships do need to start in February, it can take any amount of time between now and the end of January. However, we should have you placed about the middle of January. But the earlier that we can start looking for you, the better. The earlier that we can have that conversation with you means that as we're talking with all the host companies that we come across, we placed a couple of people with Salesforce recently, with Coca-Cola, although I would insist on only working in the diet division. I wouldn't want to work in the sugary one. Be Coke Zeros for me all day. And even, Salesforce, there's a couple of others there. But again, they're some of the known brands. But trust me when I say, and I've started many businesses in my life, on average, the better experiences come from the smaller companies where you're dealing directly with the owners of the business, working on whatever problem it is that they are looking to solve. So while we wait for any other questions, what else, Swathi, do people tend to ask?
How
long does it take to complete the course? You know, the coursework? I think you could do it in a weekend, couldn't you?
Super easy, yes. So you need to complete 2 units of the course in order to then be moved to the placement process. And the plan is for this cohort to be able to access the course by the beginning of January, beginning of December. So from the 5th of December, if you're able to access the course, then you can complete the course while you're waiting, while there are business closures in Australia between the Christmas and New Year period. So the first couple of units only takes about maybe 5 hours tops to complete. They're very easy, and the rest of the units or tasks need to be completed as you're completing your internship.
Okay, so of I think there's 4. Are there 4? Yep. Of the 4, 2 are compulsory. This is what makes the process legal. Must be done for legal purposes.
Yep.
Takes 4 or 5 hours to complete. You've got until the 5th of December to do that. Then you can move to the placement process, where we will start introducing you to companies so that you can then start your internship come early February. And after the 5th of December, you're able to complete those other 2 modules in your own time, and they just need to be completed before you start. So that's the process. All right, for those of you who are watching this as a recorded video, please feel free to reach out to us or to your Australia Awards representative. Thank you very much to Australia Awards to allow us to present to the students in this cohort. And yeah, unless there was anything else, Swathi?
We've just got another question, Dom.
Cool.
It says, what happens if after the students start their internships, it doesn't quite work out?
Couple of answers there. The first thing we would do is that we'd investigate what is it about the internship that isn't working out. And if it's something to do with the company, we will definitely endeavour to find a new one or put you in for the remainder. So 12 weeks, let's just say you get to week 6 and it hasn't worked out and the issue's on the company side, we will move heaven and earth to get you into another internship to finish off the 6 weeks. And that has happened in the past, where for whatever reason the company hasn't been able to fulfill their obligations. And the main one is that they have strayed off what we agree up front that the student should be doing during that time. Like if they're meant to be making solar panels, yet they send them out selling solar panels, well, that's not what it was about. So therefore, we will swap them out. However, we have had many an issue, and this is probably the more popular one, where the student has not put in the effort required from a professional placement point of view. We had one student that in the first 6 weeks took 17 sick days. And we actually found out that they were driving Uber when they should have been doing their internship. So if that's the case, then we'll need to have a bit of a chat, find out what is happening in that person's life and assist them if we can, not necessarily put them into another internship unless we can be assured that that intern is going to behave in a more professional manner. So we look at every case individually, and we understand that international students in particular come with a lot more pressures on them than, say, some of the local kids that we deal with. And so we really do wish to look at that on a case-by-case basis. And, you know, together with Australia Awards too, we will make a determination as to what we do. And it's all about the welfare of all parties involved. Good question. I like it. Any more? No? All good?
There's none in the chat.
Wonderful.
Q&A.
Okay, and again, I'll just move my little cursor so you can see my name there. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, please get on LinkedIn. Make sure it looks like your resume with a nice photo of just your face, and perhaps just drop me a little note where we've met, and you can ask any questions. And yeah, we look forward, hopefully, to seeing you a little later in the year when we start the placement process. I think Swathi, and that's Swathi's name as well. So look us up on LinkedIn. Maybe take a screenshot of that so that you do have it for later when you've got plenty of time. All right, then. Thanks, Swathi. And thanks, everyone. And thank you for the questions. Again, as the founder of the business, I'm really proud of what we do. We've helped lots and lots of international students. We have a passion for assisting them to make that transition from their education to the workforce. And the way we do it is by internships and mentorships. So, so again, reach out to us, ask any questions, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. See you.